people, welcome back to my channel. I've actually been FaceTiming people a lot, and I feel like sometimes after the conversation I'll be like, bye. And then I have to remind myself that this is FaceTime, or I'm not doing a YouTube video. I'm Megan during FaceTime, not the poor doctor like I am now. Yes, hello, this is the poor doctor. Today we're going to talk about eating seasonally. Eating seasonally. That's like kind of a phrase that you hear very frequently. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. So like, I really like to drink celery juice. The vitamins in celery really help clear my skin. So that's the main reason why I like celery juice, because it helps my skin. I don't really have, believe it or not, a lot of people say that I look like a doll, but I don't really think I do, because I don't have like porcelain skin. I do break out a lot. My skin's pretty oily. And I break out lately, so like I have the whole T-zone thing where like it's oily on my nose and on my forehead. But lately, like, I've been getting breakouts like here on my chin or on my cheeks, and that's because of a hormonal imbalance, just so that everybody know. But I feel that celery juice really helps my breakouts here, the hormonal imbalance. And like I said, it's because of a vitamin issue. Like vitamin K is in leafy greens, A I think it is in celery. So that's one of the reasons why I like to drink celery juice. However, I haven't had celery juice since like September, October, and gee, I wonder why, because celery is like really expensive, and it's expensive in the winter because it's not in season. So that's like, there you go, that's a perfect example of eating seasonally. Well, I can buy celery, but like it's really expensive. Like in the summer, it's like $1 a stalk, if that, which is great. But in the winter, it's like almost, at the store, it was like $2.30. Like, that's for a stalk. That's ridiculous. I'm not paying that. And then especially if you're gonna like juice it, like that, then you get less bang for your buck. Whenever you juice something or blend something, like you have to use 10 times more of the product, unless you use more water and then you water it down, but that like defeats the purpose in the first place. So there you go. there's my eating seasonally story. But my mother was actually the one who told me about eating seasonally in the first place, because I love pomegranates. I don't really like fruit, but pomegranates and apples are two fruits that I actually like. And I like strawberries too, sometimes. Sometimes. It really depends on the it depends on the brand of strawberries. The Driscoll ones, the ones from California, those are the best ones. So anyway, so I don't really like fruit that much, and those are the 3 fruits that I actually eat, right? So, when I was little, it was my favorite time of year, October, and I wasn't in marching band at the time, so I actually could enjoy October. And my mother bought a pomegranate, and I thought it was the best thing on the face of the earth. And when I eat my pomegranates, I don't take the seeds out and soak it like a normal person. I actually like cut the pomegranate in like a couple different sections, and then I bite it like an apple. And then you get the membrane, right? And I just like if I eat I'll peel the membrane and then I'll like bite into it. But like if the membrane gets in my mouth, like I either just swallow it, or yeah, actually I just swallow it. That doesn't really happen that frequently. I don't really eat the membranes. And I eat all the seeds. I chew the seeds and I swallow them. I don't spit them out, which I know a lot of people, some people do spit them out. But anyway, pomegranates are great. And I eat it like hardcore. Like, I don't soak it in water, but if you soak it in water and you get the seeds, it's a lot easier to put in, like if you wanted to put it in your oatmeal, or put it in yogurt, or I don't know, whatever you wanted. Some people put it on dessert. It's a lot easier to serve it that way than the way I eat it. But anyway, so I love pomegranates, love them so much, right? And then December comes around and there's no more pomegranates. There's also no artichoke either, unless you get the canned kind. I really like artichoke. So then I was like, Mom, like, why don't you buy pomegranates anymore? Why don't you buy artichoke anymore? Like, where are these foods that you've been serving me for the past 2 months? Where'd they go? And then she was like, oh, well, they're not in season anymore. Like, pomegranates aren't in season anymore, which is true. Pomegranates aren't, they're in season in the fall, and that's about it. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, can you get strawberries then? Because I really like strawberries. And then my mom's like, oh, strawberries aren't in season in December either. Clementines, though, are in season. So do you want to have like, I can get you clementines. And, I mean, I like clementines, but again, like, not my favorite. So I learned at a young age that apples and bananas are probably the only few fruits that are technically in season all year round. And that's kind of why if I do buy fruit, I buy apples. I don't really like bananas, but I've been buying bananas instead of almond milk for the shakes. So I haven't been buying them. But I don't like to eat a banana. I don't really like the way it tastes. It has to be mixed. Believe it or not, it has to be mixed with spinach and a dark leafy green in a shake, and then I'll eat it. So anyway, so I learned pomegranates are in season in the fall. Strawberries are in season in the summer. Apples are in season all year round. And that's kind of how I learned about eating seasonally. Vegetables too, like I mentioned, celery, artichoke. Certain vegetables like kale, collard greens, I've been obsessed with because they're selling collard greens cheaper a pound than kale, and they're right next to each other in the grocery store. So when I make collard greens, though, I make them the same exact way I make kale. I steam it, or sometimes I'll put it in the pan with olive oil. I don't make them like the traditional southern way. Believe it or not, I don't really know how to I don't really know how to cook stuff like that. So I know how to steam, I know how to pan fry, I know how to put it in a pot of boiling water. Those are the 3 ways that I cook my food. So, but kale, spinach, collard greens, broccoli, those are all pretty good. You can always buy like spinach and broccoli frozen too, which makes it super easy. You can buy it fresh and freeze it. I do that sometimes too, depending on what's most cost effective. But cucumbers, certain lettuce, celery, anything like more watery, green wise, I feel like you have to sort of watch like when you buy it and what season it is. And what type of lettuce is it? Is it mixed greens or is it iceberg? Iceberg is the best. I know it doesn't have any nutrient properties, but it is the best. It's just like potato. It doesn't taste like anything, but it's crunchy, just like potato chips, and I love it. But yeah, so that's kind of how in my diet, because sometimes some seasons transition, like from January, so from like winter, right, January until April, I am in school, and that's spring semester. And so like it's technically spring semester because it ends in the spring, but like January it's winter, February it's winter, March it's a little bit of both, and then April, then it becomes spring. And sometimes the semester goes on until May, like depending on when classes start in January. But spring semester has always been the hardest for me course-wise, even in undergrad for sure, and then masters too. The tradition hasn't stopped in undergrad. So sometimes I get a little lost, and then I kind of forget like what season we're in, and the transition kind of happens, like, I don't know, it happens and I don't really recognize that it's happening or that it happened. So sometimes I do forget like what season we're in when it comes to food. So with my shopping list, I tend to buy foods that are in season at all times. And sometimes if I see something that's on sale, like maybe a pomegranate's on sale or maybe cucumbers are on sale, then I'll buy them. Then I'll eat seasonally. But it's usually, and I do not suggest following this rule. I just do it because I'm a student and I don't really have time to think about buying food seasonally. I have just enough time to make sure I'm on budget, and that's like pretty much it. So, yeah, so I'll buy, if something is on sale, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, it hits, it's in season, and then I'll buy it, and that's kind of how it works. But let's discuss eating seasonally, candy wise. I do not have a sweet tooth. I actually don't eat candy. I don't really like it. I'm very little, so it doesn't take that much to get me like hyper. You know, 2 cups of coffee, well, 3 cups, because now I developed a tolerance for it, gets me hyper. But when it comes to candy, like, if I eat like 5 Swedish fish, I will be jumping off the walls, So that's why I don't really eat candy, because it gets me like a little too jittery, too fast, and I like speed, like, and then I crash, just like a kid, because I'm not really that big. And then my body also really isn't used to eating fake sugar. Like when I do crave sugar, it's usually like, well, I don't really like agave, but so usually if I crave sugar, it's like maple syrup sugar, or an apple sugar, an orange sugar, like, it's not like fake. There are times I'll need like Gatorade with the electrolytes and the sugar, but most of the time it's just like I eat natural sugar. So when I have fake sugar, I tend to like skyrocket like a little kid, and then I have a crash, and I I got too much going in my life to be skyrocketing and crashing. Like, I never accomplish anything. So I don't really like candy, but I go to the dollar store and they have lots of holiday candy. They always change it up, and it's wonderful. Like Halloween, they'll have candy corn. Candy corn's the best type of candy, and it is made with honey most of the time. The pumpkin ones are the best, again, but I can't really eat them because then I get really sick and I skyrocket, crash, and get sick on top of it. Like, sometimes I throw up. Then, then moving on, we have, candy canes and all the lovely chocolates for Christmas, and the Advent calendar is like another favorite. Even though I usually just give the chocolate to my brother, I still like opening it and seeing what's inside, and it's always a fun mystery. And I never really understood that 12 days of Christmas, like, is it 12 days before Christmas? Is it 12 days after Christmas? Or is it December 1st through December 12th? That's a discussion we will talk about when it's Christmas time. Anyway, but yeah, candy canes are great. Again, they're made with sugar, but like sometimes you can find ones that are made with honey, and those are probably the one and only candy like mints that I can actually like eat. And I guess again, you don't really like pig out, like you don't sit in front of the TV and pig out on candy canes. Like, you usually just eat one, or in my case, I'll have a little piece of one. And those are pretty darn good. And then Valentine's Day candy, of course, we have St. Patrick's Day candy. I don't think they have anything for New Year's, but I wouldn't put it past them to have like gold. You know how they have like gold chocolate? I wouldn't put it past them. But Easter candy, I don't like Easter. I don't like Easter like holiday at all. But Easter candy, I think, is the best like holiday candy. There's so much for everybody. They got Peeps for the marshmallow people. They have chocolate for the chocolate people. And then like all like Reese's that has like the eggs, and then they have like white chocolate Reese's, and then the M&Ms are all these pretty colors. Everything's very colorful, and it's pastels, and I really like I really like pastels. especially when it comes to accessories like pink and yellow. Blue pastels are pretty nice, like if you put it, you know, in a little bowl and it's like blue and pink and purple M&Ms and maybe a couple of yellow and green. It's very, very pretty. I wouldn't go for green or purple or blue for my closet, but for Easter it's cute to have like little Easter decorations. So I think in terms, I know candy isn't eating seasonally, but you know, throw it in there. Eat seasonally. Candy, fruit, vegetables. Yeah. Because we all need, I mean, I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to eating healthy. Like I don't do cheat meals, and if I do, it's usually like peanut butter is the cheat meal. But I understand not everybody is hardcore, nor should you be, because like everybody is human, and I mean, there's plenty of things like I like junk food too. I love chips and guacamole, and yeah, that might be a healthy snack, but when you eat 500 calories worth of chips and guacamole, it's not a snack anymore. It's considered a meal. So I even have my flaws too. But yeah, eat seasonally, treat yourself to whatever your favorite holiday is, and have some candy along with that fruit, those fruits and vegetables. Make sure you eat vegetable first, fruit, and then candy. It will make the candy taste 10 times better. I guarantee it. Okay, have a good day. Thanks for talking to me about goodies, treats, and healthy snacks. Okay, bye.